You're building the empire,
and we'll help you protect it.
because even the most powerful women
Still have trust issues.
It's December.
It's December, yes.
And it's that time of year.
Yes, it's a great time of year, right?
It is. It's the end of 2025 has been quite a year. There's been some growth, some new stuff, shedding off the old stuff. What about you?
It's been a great year. It's been a time of reflection. It's been some highs and lows.
Yeah.
But it's been a great year, and it's just great to be at the end in December and this time as season. This holiday season,
This
right?
season. I mean, it's so many things that you consider, but I love the word you just used, reflecting. And when I reflect on 2025, when I reflect on this year, and I reflect on my life, I was telling you that when we came in, I just feel so blessed.
Amen.
So blessed.
Amen. As well, I feel so blessed. I feel that God is really, he's already awesome, but just to see the reflection and just to see the things that has been accomplished this year. One great thing has been just my connection with you and this trust issues. It's just been,
So we birthed the podcast this year.
And God is so good. Amen. This has been a great time.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride.
It's been a great look, girl. We're just getting started.
I know, right?
We're just getting started because we know how to make sure we're covering all the important things. And that one of the things that we're going to talk about today is when you are blessed, because God is who He is, we must consider the gift of giving.
Yes.
You know, December is that time where we focus on it. We focus on the gift of life. We focus on the gift of Jesus Christ. We focus on, reflecting on the year and how the Lord has just blessed us and kept us. And then I know in my church, it's a time where we adopt families.
Yes, it's that season. Yes, for us as well. And I just reminded of the scripture that everybody knows, for God so loved the world that He gave. And I think that is the sentiment of the season, that love gives.
Love gives. Love is one of those things that the more you give it away, the more it grows.
The more it grows. Yes.
I love that.
And that's amazing as well, because we think about the ultimate love that God has for us.
Yes.
And then we think about how that grows the more we know and explore and become acquainted with His love. So it's not so hard to do what we're talking about today and give, right?
No, not at all. And so when you have gotten to the place where you're no longer just looking at your circumstances, you're looking at you have an optimistic outlook on life. You're looking at the blessings, the things that God has added to your life or has blessed you with. As I told my children, like, I've reached a point in my life where the moment that all of them are in one place together, which, since I got a birthday coming up, that's my birthday wish, right?
Yes,
they said, what you want for your birthday? I want all of you in my house. You, your husbands, wives, and your children, all in my house.
That's a blessing.
That's my birthday gift. So as we talk about December, we know people are feeling the pressure of end of year bills, getting ready for, they do the Christmas shopping and all that kind of stuff. But we just want to pause today and do a focus on strategic giving.
Yes, and giving that counts.
Yeah.
Right? It can count in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we're exploring that today and how we can make giving count. And I'm so excited because we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to your heart too as well.
Yes.
Right? We're going to talk about your Wealth Generation Pathway Scholarship.
Yeah, I started that this year too. Yes, thank you.
Look at
so
the
much.
new beginnings of what's happening this year. This is great.
Yeah, it's always been it's in my heart. And as you talked about, God demonstrates that it's planned, it's purposeful, And it isn't just a happenstance. There's a strategy to giving. So just like you have a strategy for living and a strategy for saving and investing, there should be a strategy for giving. Of course, God wants us to have the heart to pull up and we see a homeless person and we offer them, the spare change or whatever in our purse or some food or something that they may need. But I'm talking about being a strategic giver. So let's get into it. So we say welcome to Trust Issues. I am one of your host, Erica, with Wealth Advisors, and I'm here with my sister.
Yes, I'm your co-host,
Yes.
Attorney Urenia Ricks-Johnson with Ricks & Associates PLLC. So I'm excited to jump into this.
Yes, and this is Trust Issues podcast where, we know that you have done a great job or you're doing a great job of building your kingdom, building your wealth, building your empire, however you look at it. It is a kingdom because God demonstrates how to have dominion in the kingdom where he set you. But as you're building, we want to show you how to protect it and understand that this is what I learned from reading the Word of God. Giving is the key to increase.
It is. And a lot of times we think it's strategically something else.
Yes, counterintuitive.
But it really is. That pretty much is, and the Bible talks about that when it talks about seed.
Yeah.
And harvest,
yeah,
right?
Sowing and reaping.
About planting seeds in order to reap a harvest. And you almost think that, why am I planting seed when I have so little? But that's how the harvest is created.
It is. And it does. It seems counterintuitive, but that's the whole thing about God's kingdom is it's actually opposite of everything we've learned in the world. The world says, grind. What do we say? I'm gonna get my grind on.
Get my grind on, right?
I'm getting my hustle on. You gotta hustle. You gotta strive. No, but God says rest. Right?
And rest in him.
Yes.
Right.
When you rest in him and you understand his principles, you learn the principles. And I'm not talking about the laws. I'm talking about the spirit of the law, which is the principle. The principles that we get out of scripture teaches us that it's more blessed to give
than to receive. Yes.
And that God gave us a strategy, really typical, the 10%, the tithe. And, if you are, I think it's natural for us to have a little rebellious perspective of the tithe, right? That's a natural mind. To be rebellious of the tithe and say, okay, that's the law, that was Old Testament. God doesn't require the tithe. Okay, but the spirit of the law, the spirit of that is the strategy. This is the strategy. And I'll tell you that ever since I started tithing, I have, my coffers have overflowed.
Testify.
Overflow. And honey, I told you about back in the day when I was forbidden to tithe.
And I just think that principle, and it's hard because you had given an example of that just being in your household, right?
Yeah, girl, I was in leadership. And I was at one of those ministries where if you ain't tithing, you can't be a leader.
Yeah.
If you aren't a giver, you
and
haven't.
That's principle too.
Yeah, because you haven't embraced and understand. You haven't gotten to the place where your spiritual mind can understand this principle of giving, right? And if I wanted to bring it home in any wealth building strategy in the
what
world,
you do, right?
The families, the Rockefellers, the Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, they all practice giving, like a percentage gleaning. Gleaning is a practice, is a wealth building practice.
Yes.
Whether it's in the kingdom of God.
A biblical principle, right?
Yes, it is. It's a biblical principle. But I just wanted to, for all the folks out there who may not buy into the biblical principles or understand that a lot of those self-help books, all those nuggets come from Proverbs and Psalms and all those kinds of things. And so I just wanted to bring that out because it wasn't, I asked God, I was like, so why is it that, why did you give us the tithe? And God revealed to me that it was because it's something that helps you work on your character.
Yes, it is. And it's about character because God doesn't need our money.
No, not at all.
It's what we talked about. And then, I think about growing up in church, the saints used to sing, you can't beat God given.
No.
No matter how hard you try.
Listen.
And I didn't understand that as a child, but I understand it now that you can't be him given. So
Right.
if he's teaching you to be like him.
Definitely. He's
Right?
demonstrated, because as you said, 3:16, John 3:16, he for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. So that he could he wanted to sow a family. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah,
we're going to get
right.
into we want to help you move from survival to strategy with your money, your legacy and your life. This is the place where we say we're helping you protect your empire. We're helping you protect what you've built. It's a place where money meets mindset. Legal
meets
legacy, and power meets protection.
Protection.
Yes. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about why year-end giving really matters, and how to set it up so that it's aligning with your values. And we're gonna give you an example of that, because when I discovered donor advised funds. When I discovered donor advised funds, this is a type of investment account that we're going to talk about today. And I said, well, I'm going to test it out first before I start recommending it to my clients, and before I start recommending it to charitable organizations. And so we're going to dedicate this episode today to this strategy of how you're going to give. If you want to be philanthropic, if you want to set up some goals for your giving, and it's not just it's not just cash. It's not. Right?
Yeah, it's a lot to it. And we're going to talk first about money meets mindset. Let's talk about that first. Let's start with the emotional side.
Yeah.
Giving touches trust.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah.
Legacy. Because when you give in, you're saying, I believe in enough in what you're doing in order to release something. But a lot of people fear giving.
Yeah. Because it feels like you're going to be depleted.
That if you give, what am I going to have?
If I give it to you, then I'm not going to have it. And I'm going to tell you, that's what's wrong with this social atmosphere that we're in right now. Is they have this term called it's a zero-sum game. That's the opposite of giving, right?
It is
a zero-sum game. And so zero-sum game is the fear that fuels this replacement theory that we hear about. This if you get it, then what am I going to use? And so zero-sum game says that there's a finite amount of resources in the world in order for us to survive. And if I let you get some, then I'm not gonna have none.
Yeah, but it's almost like we talked about before, where you end up having holes in your bucket by doing that.
Yeah.
Because you are not realizing that by you keep storing it up, there's holes in it.
There's holes. The moth's gonna get it.
Exactly.
It's gonna rust. The thief gonna come in, and the thief don't have to be the one with the mask on. The thief can be
very subtle.
Taxes. The thief can be inflation.
Can hit it.
Yeah. The thief can be all those things that you may not factor in that can eat away at your resources. The thief can be having no favor, because the opposite of having access to everything and all the resources that God has, because it belongs to him anyway, is favor.
And you can lose that by trying to hold on to something when you really need to release it in order to give. Sometimes, and it's that old thing where you kind of see like the meme where you have, and it's just like the example of like this little kid with something that they're trying to hold on to, and then behind the back of the person, and they're just like, I want you to give this to me because I got something better for you.
Yes.
As soon as you give me this, I got something so much better for you. Something that you always wanted. Something that
you don't even know how much more you can have when you release.
Yes.
When you release and you develop the heart. So yeah, it's about developing your character, understanding where your priorities lie. It's entrusting the God who has given us the resources and the principles, that He will supply all of our needs. And they may not come in the form of, something tangible. They come in the form of, oh yeah, you can get in. Oh no, you don't have to pay.
Right.
Oh no, I'm just going to give. I just want to bless you. Oh, you know what? I don't know why I thought of you, but the Lord put you on my heart, and I just want to invite you, and and now you have amassed access to things that you could not have paid for.
And sometimes it's not even about money. Even when you said, about having your family around you for your birthday, that's priceless.
Yeah.
That's
It
priceless. Having those things. So I think that it also, like you said, when it builds character, it helps you to understand the value of things.
Yeah.
Because money does have value, but where you place it at is important as well. What value you place on it is important.
True. It has value because it's just like that seed you put in the ground. It's a tool and can be used to accomplish the ultimate goal. And even my children, you got me thinking about that. Even my babies were, they had to like say, well, Mom, you so busy. We just want some of your time. We just want your time. And I stopped for a minute. I was like, yeah, that don't cost me nothing. I can
do that, right?
I can, prepare a meal, maybe buy a little food, and invite everybody over to spend some time together. And we actually love being with each other, love being in each other's company, and then it's my opportunity to pour into them, tell them what I'm working on, tell them where everything is, tell them. Bring them in on some of the plans and the legacy plans that I have. That's when I talk to them about that stuff.
Wow. Yeah. And that's important too, because I always try to schedule family meeting. I actually this past week, I told everybody, I said, get out your calendars. We're going to meet on this date. Everybody's going to be off.
Right.
We're going to do that. And just check in. Like you said, it's always good to have a check-in. It's always good to talk about what do we have planned for 2026? What is everybody thinking about for 2026?
I know.
It's important to just see where everybody's mindset is. And then, how we feel about money as well. Like what is happening? What do we want to do? What do we want to sow into? What do we want to do?
That's good.
Even as a family.
Yeah, because I know I met your girls and your
the girls.
Yes, I met the girls and your baby. And you don't realize that things don't even enter into their mind. Doesn't even enter into their purview until you speak it. And when you speak it or you demonstrate it, then they pay attention and they give it value because you gave it value.
Right.
They now have you're helping to shape their vocabulary, the things that they prioritize, things like that. So I love it because a few years ago, my children and I started a family business. We started it's called the Hall Family Gen Wealth. So I use that Gen Wealth because it was a generational thing. So for short, it's HF Gen Wealth LLC, and we started a family LLC, and we. I gave them positions. We all took positions in the business. We purchased some property. We didn't do really well with the property, but it was a great experience, for them to learn. And we would have regular meetings, more regular meetings then than we do now. Now they're a little more spaced out because they've gotten really busy. My daughter's working on her doctoral degree. They're running that event planning space, and my one son, he just finished school, and my other one, he's getting ready to go back to school. And so I'm like, okay, well, we just have to learn how to build out the capacity. If you're going to do more, you got to learn how to be organized and like you said, put that calendar together. So when you do have time together, you're making the most of it. Yeah,
and that's important. You have to capture those moments. And we know that even during this time, it's strategic that I picked it in December.
Yeah.
Because I understand end of the year, we started to figure out what happened this year, what could we have done better, what could we do better in 2026. And that's what I think about when we think about giving.
Yeah.
this is the end of the year. Have we done our best?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just evaluating that on giving to things that we should be giving to. Has it reaped the benefits that we can have out of giving?
Right. Yeah.
Because you can reap benefits from giving. And like you talked
Definitely.
about those strategies that are in place where you can earmark your dollars for certain things, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a benefit to it, because if you don't have a strategy, it's easier for you to be exploited. I'm sorry I laugh, because that's not a good place to laugh, but it's easier for you to be exploited. And by exploitation, I mean, some charities may not be reputable. Every time you're at the register, they're like, you want to donate $1? You don't know.
You
right?
don't even know if it's going to those
You
funds.
don't know.
And then sometimes when they, and this is what I don't like. It's like when they almost try to make you feel like, oh, it's like it's only 50 cents. But it's
You don't want to round up.
You don't want to round
Right.
up. And I get it, trying to push, but I also believe in understanding that sometimes I think it's a time where you can just say, okay, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But then other times you can really be strategic with the strategy. You can have, even in your strategy, you can just say, this is a certain amount where, that really doesn't matter where that goes. I pray that it goes to the right place, but even if it doesn't, it's all
because
good.
rounding up became a good strategy for saving. That's one of the saving strategy that one of the apps I was working with, Acorn.
Yes.
Yeah, they rounded up.
Are you still working with Acorn?
I moved to Stash.
Really?
When I would work with some of the young folks, because I wanted them go somewhere.
Yeah, and that's what I recommend
use some
too.
kind of app or what have you. But now I have my own app. So now,
that's true.
Right, now I have my own app. But back in the day before I had an app, those were ones that I would use. And Acorn was one that had the, roundup strategy.
I think I still have money at Acorn. You reminded me. I think I still, because I just did it so long ago with just having
That's why I had my children do their first account. Was in, not Acorn, it was Stash.
Okay.
And so my daughter did Acorn because she's one that when I say do something, she jump. She be jump right on. It's like, what's the investments I'm doing?
Right.
And then she did the Stash. And yes, those are ones where you can, even they ask for some donations and giving inside of those. They do the education and all that. But I say if we don't come up with a strategy, you leave yourself open to be exploited, because you're not quite sure where you want to give, and then sometimes out of guilt you just give.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be guilt. It should be purposeful. It should be premeditated. It should be planned. I like those P words.
Yeah, the premeditated, planned giving.
Yeah.
And it can reap so many benefits.
Yeah.
And the benefits, even from the tax perspective, like we talked about, like the giving, because we know that the year end, and they call it like year end giving.
Yeah.
December 31st, that ends the cycle for this year, for 2025, right?
Yep, that fiscal year. And so, as I mentioned earlier, that God gives us this strategy, the plan. And when I say plan, He's the plan for His kingdom,
right? For
the kingdom of God. That when we realize that we operate on kingdom principles, and so we got to do things His way.
His way.
And so I want to talk about the fiscal year that you were just mentioning.
Okay.
Why is it important to look at the calendar from that fiscal perspective?
Because many institutions look at it. You have the IRS that looks at it when it comes to the taxable year.
Yeah.
You have organizations that provide benefits, or entities that would give you more of a benefit is connected to that year-end giving.
Yeah.
So there are strategies that you can put in place where when you do give toward the end of the year, or give by that 31st date, you're positioning yourself to have more tax benefits in 2026.
Yeah.
You can have more benefits overall, because at that point you have given within that cycle before the end of the year. So it definitely puts you in a better position in order to, sow that seed before the end of the year.
And that's the IRS look back when you file in April. Right.
They don't look back anything after January, anything after December 31st.
Right,
You're
right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay. So the timing is important. So I want to get into the tools.
Okay, let's
Like
talk
the
about the
good
tools.
stuff.
Okay, all right, let's talk about the tools. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
So these aren't really popular right now, but I'm telling everybody I know
Okay, well, tell us about it.
about these donor advised funds.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So a donor advised fund is an investment account. It's an account. I'm not gonna call it just an investment account, but it's a charitable account that you can open at an investment firm.
Okay.
So my firm,
So open it with you.
Yes.
We can open it with you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So my firm can open you up a donor advised fund account. And a donor advised fund account is where so the charitable fund gets a tax ID. I'm smiling because that's the equivalent of me starting a nonprofit just for these charitable donations. But I don't have to go through any of the paperwork
that I have to go through.
Yes, yes. And you did a great job. You did a great job. But I don't have to do any of that just to give, just to raise money for a charity.
But what's the benefit of doing that as opposed to a nonprofit? So what would be the benefit of doing that fund? Is there a benefit that let's say I give toward the fund?
Yeah.
Or if I open it up, is there any benefits with that?
Yeah. So I would say it's more laser focused. So
Okay.
the nonprofit, so if you're doing a nonprofit organization, you may have a broad
Yes.
focus, you may have a broad audience or what have you, or a broad number of different things that you're going to do. And everything you do is associated with that, your operations, your board, or all that you do. With a donor advised fund, the benefit is this account is specifically raising money for a purpose.
Okay.
It's a fundraising account for a purpose.
Okay.
Right? And so you, as the owner of the account, you can identify whatever the purpose is that you want. And then you come up with your process, such as a board or a committee who's going to help identify who's going to be the recipients of your award.
And you have guidelines for that.
You have guidelines for that and all that stuff. But I'm trying to slow down because the best part is
What's the best part?
Every donation that anyone makes to the account is one, because there's a number of things. One, every donation is tax deductible.
Okay.
Because you get a tax ID. Two, donations can be cash. Donations can be assets. I could donate a house.
Oh.
I could donate a car. I could donate stocks. I could donate art, collectible items.
Okay.
And why would someone want to do that? Philanthropy.
Yes.
Whatever it may be, if they want to get rid of some capital gains in their taxable account
before the end
of the year, they can donate to the how you have college funds for kids and grandparents can donate to move money out of their estate or something like that. Same thing here. They can have donations inside of the account. And as we're talking about this year-end giving, I'll tell you, the donor advised funds help you to satisfy whatever that goal is, and you get that tax write-off for the year. Plus, as the account owner, I don't have to do any of the bookkeeping.
Wow. So who does the bookkeeping?
Schwab Advisor Center.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Schwab is where we custody, right? So my donor advised fund is custody with Schwab. And the Schwab program that I use,
they calculate all of that.
Yeah. So wherever you're holding your donor advised fund, Schwab, of course, isn't the only place. But wherever you're holding your donor advised fund, wherever you open the account, they're responsible for the accounting and the bookkeeping.
Which is good, which saves as well. You don't have to.
So I don't have the operations. I don't have the all of that overhead. I don't have I don't have anything else to do except focus on raising funds and giving out. Yeah, giving out the awards.
Based on the parameters. And it keeps a lot because, I know with operating a nonprofit, you have a lot of different nuances with that you have. You have staff, you have people that actually keep things going. You have the back office part of it to making sure that you're in compliance. But you have compliance already built in once you open up the account, which is great.
Yep, it's already built in. Now, of course, there are some guidelines, like I said, that you have to follow, but you just build that into how you're collecting the funds, and then how you're selecting the individuals that you're going to give the awards to. Yeah. So I mean, but important. It's done simply with the like a scholarship committee, which is what we did this year. We put together a scholarship committee, and I want to give a big shout out to Adrienne Jordan, my mom.
Yes. We love Mom. Yes.
She put together a committee of some folks who were retired. They were in the industries. They were captains in their industry, judges, educators.
Okay, that's great.
And just those folks who they came with so much information that I had to say, okay, this is our first time.
Right.
Let's just kind of bite off a little piece of the elephant. All I really wanted to do was build the strategy while we were building the fund. And so we were able to give out our first scholarship.
Yes, congratulations. That's great. It's monumental because, to see, and I know I got a chance to see at least one of the students to actually receive the award and things like that, based on what you posted. And I just think that it's a great thing when you see the culmination of what you kind of put out there. Yeah. And see it come together is a blessing.
Thank you. I was just so excited once, like, oh my God, these guys are actually applying to the scholarship. And I'll tell you the parameters. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the Donor Advised Fund first, but I was just so excited to be able to help some young men. And I say young men because we had 3 young men who were selected, and statistics. We'll talk about all that. But so yes, you can put cash in there. You can even gift appreciated assets like stocks and crypto. You can donate crypto.
That's great.
Yes.
And you can actually have that as an asset because execution matters. Transfer timing, documentation, like we were talking about, year-end giving, and making sure you're receiving organizations can accept the asset is important too.
Right.
Like you said, setting it up properly. You've talked about how you set it up and things like that. And that's what we are about too, just making sure that you have things set up correctly. Yeah,
that's a really good point, because what if somebody wants to give something to you and you're like, well, what am I going to do with that art? I can't, what am I going to do with that crypto? As far as how do I turn that crypto into a scholarship? Or how do I disposition that so that, or liquidate that asset so that I can give away an award or be charitable in my philanthropic efforts?
Yes. So those are things. So the foundational things of making sure that those things are, and looking at the what ifs are important when you're setting up those type of organizations.
Yeah. And it puts you in the realm of, I remember before I got into the financial industry, my dad would always talk about these foundations. We got to get a foundation. Foundation. He had learned about. So my father was the one who really pushed me into the financial industry. And he was, he would talk about, first he got me talking about stocks, and then he got me talking about trusts and he got to have, we got to have a trust. And when you aren't, when you aren't an attorney or this isn't your world, you hear this word on the street. You hear all this stuff.
And that's how you go.
Right. And so now I'm like, okay, Dad, I got something better than the foundation, just for the purposes of what we're trying to accomplish. And so you get all of these advanced accounting practices that are done in your account or on your behalf. Qualified distributions. You can even gift from your IRA.
Yes. And that's important too. And I want to ask you this question. Is it possible to before the end of the year, set up an IRA and give into your IRA or give through your IRA before the end of the year? Because I know that they have parameters for how much you can give in the Roth IRA, and we've talked about that before.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
let's say that it's somebody out there that wants to actually set something up before the end of the year. We got a couple weeks until the end of the year. Is that something that they can do and actually still do like a charitable donation through their IRA if they set it up before the end of the year?
Yeah, as long as the IRA is established before December 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See,
as
that's
long
good.
as the IRA is established before December 31st. And so now I don't know. I didn't look at this. I don't know this fact. I'll have to research it as far as doing contribution after the fact, because that's a good question. Because even in an IRA, you have up until like April 15th to make a contribution for it to be counted towards the previous year.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm not sure about the donor advised fund if that happens, because our books might be closed
Right.
by the end of but the as long as you're making that distribution and that account is set up, you're going to have the opportunity to make that contribution, and you're going to get that tax ID number, and you're going to get credit for that year, and you're going to have that write-off for that tax year.
And so that's why the reason why I said that is because I want people to understand that there's still time to do some things before this end of the year.
Oh, yeah,
There's still some time to do that. We're talking about giving, we're talking about things, and we're talking about how you may have something that you figured out, hey, it's the end of the year and I have these funds kind of left over before the end of the year, and that I want to get some more tax benefits before the end of the year. And you can do that. You can be strategic with that, especially if you donate to a recognized charity that's recognized by the IRS.
Recognized charity, yes.
And that's important. And that's from a legal perspective, you only get those benefits, certain number of benefits based on if that entity is qualified.
True. And now I'm leaving out the most important thing.
Okay, what's the most important?
Me.
You are.
No, that you get an advisor.
Yes.
That's why they're donor advised funds. And so the account that I open, the account that if you open with your financial advisor, the advisor gets to manage the investments, manage the portfolio. And so the monies aren't just sitting. They're growing, they're being invested. So when I say you get me, I mean you get an advisor.
You do, but you're the best. You're the best. So I agree with that. You are the best. And then I know that there are certain programs where, certain entities, if you give a certain amount, they match it. So there's definitely benefits now to even giving and getting and maximizing that benefit.
Yeah, so that's good. That brings me to what we did. That's what we did.
So yeah, tell us what.
So I want to, for our last few minutes, I want to talk about the wealth generations.
Yes, let's talk about it. This is great.
Scholarship. And so this is our inaugural year. Like I said, we put together, I recruited my mom and asked her to help me because it was something that I didn't have a lot of time to dedicate all my time to, but I knew that my mom would give it just the love and care that it needed.
That you would.
Yeah. And personal. And she was so thoughtful, because one of the rules with the scholarship, or one of the rules with the fund, is that the individual who's hosting or who owns the account, you can't be the deciding factor.
Okay.
Right? And you can't give away money to anybody in your immediate family, all those things.
So be independent. Make sure it was impartial. Yeah.
So we got some folks that, she had a great relationship with, all the movers and shakers who were on the committee. And we did the scholarship, and it was a pathway called the Pathway Scholarship, because I decided to set it up based on my path. All right. So I got 5 categories, right?
What's your 5?
Okay. My 5 categories is my hood, where I grew up. The path that shaped me to be who I am today.
Yeah, so you're a great...
The hood where I grew up, right? And that's Fountain Court Co-op.
Okay.
Located down there off the Fisher Freeway, off Martin Luther King Boulevard. Used to be Myrtle, just right across from the old land where Tiger Stadium was.
So they had to have grown up over there.
Had to have either grown up over there or living over there now. So these may be people that I've never met, but they're living over there where I grew up, and I want to give back. I'm saying, hey, We had a few people come out of the hood that just really did well. And so it's important to go back and give back.
It
right?
is.
The next one is my high school.
Yeah,
Cass
shout
Tech.
out. Shout out to Cass Tech.
CT. Yep. So any student who's at Cass Tech can apply for the scholarship. The next one is my extended family.
Okay.
So they can't be a part of your immediate family, but they can be distant relatives.
Okay.
Who can who help
Apply.
to shape. Who family is everything. Who help to shape who I am. My next one is my business.
Yeah.
My business.
Any referrals from your business, right?
Any clients of my business, their children.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Their children can apply for the scholarship. And the fifth one is, of course, my place of worship.
There you go. There you go. We love it.
Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church.
Yes.
Any students who are there can apply. And we're not just doing, for the scholarship, we're not just doing college and university. We're doing trade schools.
Oh, that's a blessing too.
We're doing certificate programs.
Yes.
Because everybody may not take the 4-year institution, 4-year college or university path. And we've learned that it's more affordable sometimes for folks to go the community college route. And then, you know, they have feeder programs into the university. So we're taking all of that into consideration. So this year, real quick, we had 3 wealth generation pathway scholarship winners.
Okay.
One is Mr. Milton Jennings.
Yeah, shout out to Milton.
Yes, he's from Southfield. He won our Trailblazer Award, $1,250. He's attending Stanford University and he's studying neuroscience psychology.
Great student.
Right. And then our second one was Landon Kendrick. And he is our Momentum Award. He won $750 towards his aviation degree at Hampton University. And then last but definitely not least, this is one of my special ones. His name is Duran Scott.
Oh, wow.
And he won our Foundation Award, $500. Now, Duran is attending Wiley College in Texas, and he is studying business management.
And this is great.
3 young, driven, they're all of them had like a 3.73, GPA, driven, focused, knew what they wanted to do, and I was just so excited to be able to participate with them or just watch their
growth,
their videos and how they share. And they also are going to be awarded my my cash flow control course. I'm going to gift them learning how to manage money, budget, stay away from those credit card companies on campus. I'm going to have that
like we talked about. Yes. And you know what? That is so great. And this is just a great example of intentional giving.
Yeah.
You had a plan, you executed it, you had the right people in place.
Yeah.
And then we see the real impact. You got 3 individuals that probably are experiencing a greater level of their education because of what you and the scholarship committee and everyone connected to this plan giving.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like brushing my teeth a few days ago, like, I did it.
Look at
we
you.
did it.
See?
Oh my God. It came to, we did it. And and thank you for allowing me to present the checks at the event.
Yes, at Corporate Development Institute. We're glad to be your fiduciary and to be able to support. I told you before, we're working together, and I'm so glad that in alliance with what you're doing because of your impact. And it just went along with what our vision is for what we do with Corporate Development Institute. And so I was glad to have the organization be a part of it.
Yes. So I guess this wraps up this show, but I'm glad to be able to share this is strategic planning. This is a tool that can help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. If you want to do a foundation, if you want to do a charitable organization, or maybe you don't have all the staff or the big focus of how to do it, this is a way to get started.
Yes, and it's just an efficient way to be purposeful with your giving.
Yeah.
And then to do it in a way that you see real impact. Those, like I said, the testimonies and the videos of the students receiving these funds and just seeing where it's going is just great impact.
Yeah. So we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for joining us for another rendition of Trust Issues. I am your host, Erica Hall,
and I'm your co-host, Attorney Urenia Ricks-Johnson.
All right. We'll see you later.
We'll see you soon.